So I'm from a small town in the Midwest. In order for the homecoming parade to last like 10 minutes, we had to get the floats out of the high school, get them downtown to the edge of town, make a U-turn, and go all the way back. Now, I don't want to say the place was small or inbred, but it wasn't uncommon for the homecoming king and queen to be brother and sister. I myself have 4 siblings, 3 of which are female. And while I was never the homecoming king, I have taken my sister to the homecoming dance. The following year, I thought I cut a break. I got to take my cousin. But he wouldn't dance with me. So that was kind of a drag. Anyway, I needed to get out of that place as quick as I could. This cottage industry of meth production and distribution, this kind of underworld pyramid scheme didn't appeal to me very much. So I went with a sure thing. I joined the military. That's right. Yes, as I have ambition deficit disorder, and I got a sure thing. I got a job from which I could not get fired. And believe me, I tried. The first day of boot camp, they were training me to be a lethal weapon. There was no wax on or wax off. There was no catching flies with chopsticks. There wasn't even sweeping of your opponent's knee. No, it was much more zen than that. We were learning to fold and label our uniforms. This ninja training continued as they showed us exactly where to put our name, rank, and serial number on every piece of uniform that they had issued us. This is called the ancient art of stenciling. And to do this, you needed something called a stencil marker, which you can imagine a tube of toothpaste filled with black ink used to write on your clothes. It was about as efficient as using a Sharpie on a roll of toilet paper. And every shirt I had looked like a fountain pen had exploded in the pocket. So training us to do this was a man I called Chief Sir, Yes Sir. He insisted we call him Sir, Yes Sir, and all of his Navy buddies called him Chief. So he was up in front of the auditorium giving us instructions on how to stencil. And he had this very old microphone. It looked like something off of a World War II battleship. And as he spoke, it kept cutting in and out, and I couldn't understand the instructions. So I said, hey, Chief, it sounds like your mic might be have a short. I could tell immediately he didn't want my input. His eyes narrowed. He gave me the hairy eye and the stink eye all at once. And he said, son, are you an electrician? I said, why, Chief, I'm shocked you asked. I don't remember much that happened after that. I do remember hearing the phrase, Dingus, shut your pie hole. Now, I had no clue what a pie hole was, but I knew this guy was dedicated to teaching me what it was. And I also heard the phrase, drop and give me 20. Now, that was one I knew from that previous morning when they had woke us up at 6 o'clock. And I suggested to the staff that might be a tad early for our first day of my naval career. They disagreed. I tried to reinforce my argument, and they countered with drop and give me 20, which of course meant that I was to do push-ups until I cried, threw up, or passed out, and only then was it safe to stop. Thank you, that's my time.